confine, confine, confine. Let's talk about the word confine. The part of speech is a verb, which means it's used to describe an action or a state of being. In common usage, confine means to limit someone or something to a specific area, time, or situation, often in order to control or restrict their movement or behavior. For example, the prison cells were designed to confine the inmates safely and securely. You'll also notice that confine has a sense of restriction, unlike words like limit, which can be more neutral. It's worth noting that this verb is often used in formal or official contexts, such as law enforcement, medicine, or education, where there's a need to be clear and precise about rules or boundaries. In a formal setting such as a court of law, you might say, the judge ruled that the defendant would confine himself to house arrest until the trial, where the word confine means to limit someone's movement or activity within a specific area. In contrast, in casual conversation with friends at a party, you might say, I'm so bored on this road trip. I feel like they're trying to confine me to this hotel room all day. Where confine implies feeling trapped or restricted. Meanwhile, in a business or academic context, you could use the phrase, the company will confine its new product launch to online platforms only, due to budget constraints, meaning to limit something, in this case, the product launch, to a specific scope or medium. So you're trying to learn this word that means being kept within certain limits or boundaries, right? Think of it like a container, like a box that holds something inside, but doesn't let it spread out or go beyond its edges. That's basically what it does. It keeps something or someone from going too far or venturing outside the set rules or guidelines. It's kind of like a boundary or a rule that says, you can only do this much, or you have to stay within these limits. Some people might use words like limit, boundaries, or restrictions to describe something similar. And it's used in all sorts of situations, from keeping people safe in certain areas to setting rules for what you can and can't do. Controversy, controversy, controversy. Hello. So, you'd like to learn more about the word controversy? Well, let's dive into it together. The part of speech for controversy is a noun, which means it refers to a person, place, thing, or idea. In common usage, controversy typically refers to a public dispute or argument about something, often involving different opinions and disagreements between people. For example, the new law has sparked a lot of controversy among the community. It can also refer to a state of disagreement or conflict within a group or organization. One special note about its usage is that controversy often implies that there's some kind of strong opposition or debate going on. So it's not just any old discussion, it's something more intense and potentially polarizing. Does that make sense? In formal discussions about politics, controversy often arises when debating sensitive topics such as freedom of speech versus hate speech laws. For instance, the recent government decision to restrict online content has sparked widespread controversy among civil liberties groups. This example showcases how the word controversy can be used in a context where precision and formality are required. In casual conversations with friends or colleagues about current events, controversy might come up when discussing news stories that have generated heated debates. For example, I'm still trying to wrap my head around that celebrity interview, it's got everyone talking. But I'm not sure if the whole thing is just a manufactured controversy. Here, The word controversy adds nuance to an everyday discussion about popular culture. In business or academic settings when discussing research methodologies or product launches, controversy can refer to disagreements over technical approaches or marketing strategies. As in, our team's proposal for using AI in customer service has raised some controversy among stakeholders who are concerned about data security. This example illustrates how the word controversy can be used in a context where technical expertise and professional objectivity are important. So you want to learn about this complex idea? Okay, let me explain. A controversy is when people strongly disagree on an important issue, and they often have heated discussions or arguments about it. It's like having many different opinions all at once, and nobody can seem to agree on what's right or wrong. This kind of disagreement can happen in politics, media, or even among friends and family. It's not just a simple disagreement, though. Controversies often involve strong emotions, personal attacks, and lots of people taking sides. Some similar ideas might be disputes, debates, or heated discussions. In short, a controversy is like a big storm of opinions that can get pretty loud and confusing. Converse. 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 Let's talk about the word converse. It can be both a noun and a verb, but in common usage, it's mostly used as a verb. When we say to converse, it means to have a conversation with someone, either one-on-one or in a group setting. We might be talking about everyday things like our lives, interests, or just enjoying each other's company. As a noun, converse can refer to the act of talking together, especially in an informal way. For example, the students enjoyed conversing with their teacher during office hours. One special note is that this word has strong connections to Latin and Old French roots, which might affect its spelling and pronunciation. But overall, it's a helpful word to know when you want to describe those casual chats we have with others. In a formal setting, such as a speech at a university graduation ceremony, you might say, as we reflect on our time at this esteemed institution, it is evident that conversing with peers from diverse backgrounds has been a valuable experience in shaping our perspectives and broadening our understanding of the world. Here, converse means to engage in discussion or dialogue. In contrast, while grabbing coffee with friends at a cafe, you might say, I love how we can just converse about anything that's on our minds without feeling like we have to be all formal and stuffy. This usage is more casual and conveys a sense of relaxed conversation between friends. On the other hand, in a business context, such as during a meeting with investors to discuss new product development, you might say, we believe that conversing regularly with industry experts will allow us to refine our approach and deliver a more innovative solution. In this case, converse implies a more professional or expert discussion. When we talk about speaking with someone in their native language, we're referring to the act of exchanging thoughts, ideas, and opinions with another person in real time, using words and sounds to express ourselves. The main characteristics of this activity are that it's a two-way communication, where both people take turns to speak and listen to each other. It's also often informal, spontaneous, and can involve gestures, facial expressions, and tone of voice. Similar concepts or synonyms for this idea might include chat, talk, discuss, or even interview. But the key thing is that it involves interacting with someone in a personal and dynamic way. When we use this activity, we're able to clarify our thoughts, learn from each other's experiences, and build relationships. all while adapting to the moment and responding to what the other person says.